Brought to you by WikiVidi.com. U.S. Airways Flight 1549. U.S. Airways Flight 1549 was an Airbus A320-214 which, 3 minutes after takeoff from New York City's LaGuardia Airport on January 15, 2009, struck a flock of Canada geese just northeast of the George Washington Bridge, and consequently lost all engine power. Unable to reach any airport, pilots Chesley, Sullenberger, and Jeffrey Skiles glided the plane to a ditching in the Hudson River off Midtown Manhattan. All 155 people aboard were rescued by nearby boats and there were few serious injuries. The incident came to be known as the "Miracle on the Hudson", and a National Transportation Safety Board official described it as the most successful ditching in aviation history. The board also rejected the notion that the ditching could have been avoided had the crew immediately returned to LaGuardia or diverted to nearby Teterboro Airport. The pilots and flight attendants were awarded the Master's Medal of the Guild of Air Pilots and Air Navigators in recognition of their heroic and unique aviation achievement. Route, aircraft, crew and passengers. On January 15, 2009, U.S. Airways Flight 1549 with call sign Cactus 1549 was scheduled to fly from New York City's LaGuardia Airport to Charlotte Douglas with direct onward service to Seattle-Tacoma International Airport in Washington State. The aircraft was an Airbus A320-214 powered by two GE Aviation, Snecma-designed CFM56-5B4P turbofan engines. The pilot in command was 57-year-old Chesley B. Sullenberger, a former fighter pilot who had been an airline pilot since leaving the United States Air Force in 1980. At the time, he had logged 19,663 total flight hours, including 4,765 in an A320. He was also a glider pilot and expert on aviation safety. First Officer Jeffrey B. Skiles, 49, had accrued 15,643 career flight hours, but this was his first Airbus A320 assignment. Since qualifying to fly it, there were 150 passengers and 3 flight attendants aboard. Takeoff and bird strike. The flight was cleared for takeoff to the northeast from LaGuardia's runway 4 at 3:24:56 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. With Skiles in control, the crew made its first report after becoming airborne at 3 hours 25 minutes and 51 seconds as being at and climbing. The weather at 2:51 p.m. was 10 miles visibility with broken clouds at 3,700 feet, wind 8 knots from 290 degrees. An hour later it was few clouds at 4,200 feet, wind 9 knots from 310 degrees. At 3 hours 26 minutes and 37 seconds, Sullenberger remarked to Skiles, "What a view of the Hudson today." At 3 hours 27 minutes and 11 seconds, the plane struck a flock of Canada geese at an altitude of about north-northwest of LaGuardia. The pilot's view was filled with the large birds. Passengers and crew later reported hearing very loud bangs and seeing flames from the engines, followed by silence and an odor of fuel. Realizing that both engines had shut down, Sullenberger took control while Skiles worked the checklist for engine restart. The aircraft slowed, but continued to climb for a further 19 seconds, reaching about at an airspeed of about, then began a glide descent, accelerating to at 3 hours 28 minutes and 10 seconds as it descended through. At 3 hours 27 minutes and 33 seconds, Sullenberger radioed a mayday call to New York Terminal Radar Approach Control. "This is Cactus 1539, the correct call sign was Cactus 1549, hit birds. We've lost thrust on both engines. We're turning back towards LaGuardia." Air traffic controller Patrick Hartman told LaGuardia's tower to hold all departures and directed Sullenberger back to runway 13. Sullenberger responded, unable. Sullenberger asked if they could attempt to land in New Jersey, mentioning Teterboro Airport. Controllers obtained permission for a landing on Teterboro's runway 1. Sullenberger responded, "We can't do it. We're gonna be in the Hudson." The aircraft passed less than above the George Washington Bridge. Sullenberger commanded over the carbon address system. "Brace for impact," and the flight attendants relayed the command to passengers. Ditching and evacuation. About 90 seconds later, at 3:31 p.m., the plane made an unpowered ditching, descending southward, at about into the middle of the North River section of the Hudson tidal estuary, at roughly opposite West 50th Street in Manhattan and Port Imperial in Weehawken, New Jersey. Flight attendants compared the ditching to a hard landing with one impact, no bounce, then a gradual deceleration. The ebb tide then began to take the plane southward. Sullenberger opened the cockpit door and ordered evacuation. The crew began evacuating the passengers through the 4 overwing window exits and into an inflatable slide raft deployed from the front right passenger door. A panicked passenger opened a rear door. A flight attendant tried, but failed to reseal the door. Water was also entering a hole in the fuselage and through cargo doors that had come open. So as the water rose, the attendant urged passengers to move forward by climbing over seats. One passenger was in a wheelchair. Finally, Sullenberger walked the cabin twice to confirm it was empty. The air and water temperatures were about and respectively. Some evacuees waited for rescue knee-deep in water on the partially submerged slides, some wearing life vests. Others stood on the wings or, fearing an explosion, swam away from the plane. One passenger, after helping with the evacuation, found the wing so crowded that he jumped into the river and swam to a boat. Thank you for watching. Brought to you by WikiVidi.com. Please like and subscribe below. Please like and subscribe below.